Hi, I'm Jim Bennett, and welcome to the preview of the City Council meeting for May 4th. I'll give you an idea of a couple of the items that are on the agenda. One of the items is to approve the new billing service for the ambulance. Historically, we had used the town of Freeport and their staff. They have decided to no longer do that in-house, and we joined them in a joint request for proposal, and a new private sector company is being recommended. The City Council will authorize us to make that change on Tuesday. In addition, there is a tax abatement for an error that was made within the staff. A person ended up selling 2 pieces of property off, and one person got both pieces, bills for both pieces of property, even though they only owned one. So one person's getting an abatement, the other person is getting a supplement, so there's no real change in the financial numbers for the city. There's a technical adjustment to Community Development Block Grant CARES Act money that we received in order to be able to make sure we comply with HUD. Again, it has no real financial institution. There is a request from the state of Maine to put solar on top of the new courthouse, which is out on Route 1. Because of the height of that building, it will require a minor amendment to the contract zone that allowed it to be built. The City Council is being asked to endorse that change and send that to the planning board for their consideration. One of the items we also have is to increase the fees that we charge individuals who come to the planning board for certain reviews and regulations. Those fees haven't been adjusted since 2015, and obviously there is costs that are associated with doing those services. If our fees are not in line, then to some degree property taxes support the development of that. By making the adjustment, all those fees are used to reduce the overall expenses that the city has and ultimately has to charge for property taxes. Another item on is just approval of a contract in order to renovate the bathrooms and do some other renovations at the Public Works Department, including heating and related work. This is just a standard approval in order to spend money. Lastly, there are 3 requests for some assistance or some economic development components. One is a credit enhancement, which is when the city shares some of the tax revenue back with the business for the redevelopment of Building 11 on the Pepperell campus. One is for a potential credit enhancement for the Saxton property, which is a $35+ million development of 250 units. It has been approved off the Bear Road. And lastly is the authorization to enter into a joint development agreement for the sale of the Diamond Match property. As part of that potential vote, the city will receive $1 million, plus it would receive having the land in front of the project, having the Riverwalk developed all the way from Route 1 all the way up to the railroad bridge. That's estimated to be a value of about $850,000 to $1.1 million. So in total, it could be up to $2.1 million. In addition to the development of that area, there would be no credit enhancement that would be associated with that project. However, the city, if the new state law changes that we asked Senator DeChambeau to support, we would put a TIF on that and then use some of that money in order to hopefully, with the support of council, support the new affordable housing project that Bedford Housing is planning to do at the end of Adams Street for 2 and 3 bedrooms. So that project and the tax revenue that would come from that project would actually help create new affordable housing within the downtown by supporting the Bedford Housing Authority. Hope that you tune in, and you can watch that both live on our cable access as well as Zoom. Thanks.